Hi guys, this is Shivardi. In this session, I'm going to explain Angular CLI commands. So, Angular command line interface tool is help the developer to initialize, develop, and maintain the Angular applications directly from the command shell. So, prior to Angular CLI tool exist, um, the developer has to do certain things manually when they are creating the components or if they want to create a service class or the guard or route. So there are few things developer has to manually create these TypeScript classes and then handle few configurations manually. But this Angular CLI command tool help developer to fast track the development activities. So let's go ahead and see some of the important Angular CLI commands in this session. So first let us go ahead and create a new project using the Angular CLI. So whenever you create a new project, it will take some time because it has to download the related plugins and then install on your system. So first issue the ng new app. So ng new command is going to generate the new Angular app. So if you look at when you are generating the new application, it asks for would you like to add Angular routing. So in my case, I have given as a S, and also it asks for which style sheet format would you like to use. So I am going with the default setting, that is the CSS. And once you provide these two inputs, Angular CLI tool automatically add few configuration and also it creates a Angular skeleton. So once it completes successfully, we can use the command ng serve, which is going to build this particular Angular application. And then, sorry, so before that, let me navigate to the my app folder, my app. Okay, now for example, I want to build this project. What I can do is ng build. So this is a command to build the Angular application. So this is going to have the different phases like a setup, and then it will follow few pages. After that it is building, and then it is going to build this particular project. So ng command is used to build the Angular project. So it takes few seconds. Once this is done, we can start the application. Let's wait for the build to complete. Okay, so build is completed. Now we can use the ng serve. This is the command to start the Angular application. So by default, the application will be accessed through the localhost colon 4200. Now let's wait for the application to be up. So once you generate this particular Angular project and then you use the ng build command and then ng serve, then if you go to the browser and access localhost colon 4200, you should be able to see the application like this. That means you are able to create basic Angular application successfully. Now let's go ahead and see some of the other important CLI commands. So as you know, in Angular, component is the basic building block for the Angular applications. So let us quickly expand this project and see how the folder structure and what are the files it has created. Now if you look at src in the app, this is where actually our TypeScript related and the HTML templates and CSS files will be generated. And app module.ts, which basically have the what are the component it has created, and then what are the modules we have, and are there any providers. Okay, and app component.ts, this is the component class. So it just have the title like my app, and then app.component.html. This is where actually the output, HTML output coming in from this particular HTML file. Now let's go ahead and create new component. In order to create a new component, or we can use the commands like ng generate, and then we want to generate the component. We can give the component name, my component. Hit enter. This is going to generate the new component. And if you go and expand the app folder here, if you see here, my component folder is created. Inside that we have 4 files. So component.ts, component.spec.ts, component.html, and component.css file. Now if you look at how the output of this particular command, it basically created 4 files, and also it updated the src app.module.ts file. Now if you go ahead and see this app.module.ts, it automatically adds the import statement for my component, and also declaration is already defined. So by using these Angular CLI commands, few of the configurations are automatically taken care by the command line tool itself. Okay, so that's the advantage of using this CLI commands. Now let's go ahead and create ng generate. Let's create a service. So ng generate service, and then my service. Now let's go ahead and hit enter. Then it is going to generate or create the service TypeScript files. If you see here, we have the src app my service dot service.ts. Now if you look at this particular TypeScript file, it has the skeleton, like this is the component class, and it automatically injected with the sum provided as a root. So here you can basically go ahead and implement what is the logic you want to implement for the service class. Similarly, you can go ahead and generate ng generate. If I want to implement the custom pipe, so we can use ng generate pipe and custom pipe. I am giving pipe name as a custom pipe. Hit enter. Now this is going to generate the custom pipe skeleton. Now if you see here, it created 2 files, and it also updated the app.module.ts file. So if you go ahead and open this file, you see custom pipe, it is a component is already added in the app module.typescript file. And also you can go to the custom pipe. So if you see here, custom pipe, here it adds the name, because whenever you are generating the custom pipes, the name is one important, because using this particular name we can use this particular pipe name in the HTML template to transform whatever the logic you are going to implement as part of this particular custom pipe implementation. So it added the default sum skeleton. Now as a developer, you know what are the transformations are required for your custom pipe implementation. You can implement here. Similarly, you can see ng generate directive. So I can create the directives as well. ng generate directive custom directive. So this command is used for generating the custom directive. So it also created 2 TypeScript files, and also it updated the app.module.ts. Now let's say if you want to generate the new module, then ng generate module, and you can specify the module name, because Angular is going to support modularization. So you can group the components as a single module that will basically provide the modularity for your Angular application. So it created a separate module. Now if you go and open this particular module, okay, you will have the my module. So here it automatically provides the basic skeleton for the module TypeScript file. And similarly, if you want to um, test some, if you want to run the test cases, then you can use the ng test command. This is going to run the test cases defined as part of your spec.ts files, and then it will provide you the test results. So for now I'm going to stop because it will take some time. So similarly, if you want to build this Angular project for the production, then you can use ng build its configuration as production. So it is going to build the Angular application code in a optimized way for the production deployment. Okay, and similarly, if you want to create an interceptor, so ng generate interceptor. Like I'm calling that interceptor name as my interceptor. Okay, so it is going to generate the TypeScript files for the interceptor with the basic skeleton. Now if you go and open this particular file, you see there is some basic skeleton is ready for the to implement the custom or the interceptor, and as a developer you just need to go ahead and write your logic here. Okay, so these are the frequent used commands for Angular applications. So let's go with the command and see if anything we have missed. So ng new, we already seen this is used for creating a new Angular application. ng generate component is used to generate the new component for your Angular application. ng generate directive, if you want to implement the custom directive, then you can use the ng generate directive. ng generate service, if you want to implement the service class for the Angular application, use the ng generate service command. And ng generate module, if you want to create a new module for your Angular application, then use the ng generate module. And ng generate pipe is generally used to create a custom pipe that is used for the transforming data in the HTML templates. And for example, you just want to create a new class instead of component, then you can use the ng generate ng sorry ng generate class my class. Then it is going to generate the my class. Okay, so it just created the my class. If you see here, they just created the class. And similarly, if you want to apply some filtering for your routings, then we are going to use the ng generate God. So this is going to help you to validate certain authentication logic before it actually allows the user to access the application. So let me go with the default connective. So once I hit enter, it created two TypeScript files. Out of that, if you see, we have the can active, and here it has some default skeleton, but here you can implement the custom logic on what basis this particular routing has to happen. If the authentication is false, then you can probably redirect this particular request again to the login page. So those type of logics we can implement here. So the next one we already seen about the uh, ng generate interceptor command, and ng serve is used to start the application. So by default, it is going to be start or server application is going to be accessible using the HTTP localhost colon 4200, and build is used to build the application for the development or the production. If you are going to use ng build, which is meant for the development environment, and if you use the ng build -c production, this is meant for the production build, and it has some optimization. And finally, if you want to run some tests, then you can use the ng test to run your test cases, and ng e2e for running the end-to-end test cases. And also, let's say if you want to add some library to the Angular, then you can use the ng add, and then you can specify either it is a framework or the plugin information here. Then it automatically adds this particular framework to the Angular or in the node modules. Okay, and the next one is, if you want to update existing Angular libraries, then you can use the ng update command, where you can specify which libraries you want to update. Then it will basically pull the latest libraries and it will update. And finally, we'll have the ng help. This is the helpful command if you want to understand more Angular CLI commands, then this information is going to be helpful. Okay, so these are the frequent used Angular CLI commands, and if you have any further queries, you can just go through the ng help command, which will give more details about what are the other commands available in the Angular CLI, and you can basically just see the description, then you will automatically understand what this particular command is going to do. And finally, one thing I want to highlight, ng-lint, it is one of the important command in terms of the Angular code quality, because whenever developers are working on the Angular application development, it basically enforces certain coding standards, and if there are any violations with the coding standards, it reports the issues in the development phase itself, so that developer can go ahead and fix them quickly, so that can avoid the defects or bugs encountered as part of the production deployments. So these are the frequent CLI commands we generally use. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.